Welcome back to Stadia Source, your number one source for Stadia news and reviews. My name is Avery. This is the Stadia Source Roundtable podcast, and tonight it is the 1 year anniversary of Google Stadia.
Happy birthday, Stadia.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Stadia. We have got a jam-packed podcast tonight with all of your favorite content creators who are going to be joining us to talk the 1 year anniversary and the news. We got a lot of news today. We're going to talk about the next year of Stadia. We're going to play a little game. We're going to play some Stadia Family Feud tonight. So with us on the first segment tonight, talking about the first year of Stadia, we've got some of your favorite content creators. Right there, we got Rokk, we've got Jem, we've got Clive, and joining us from our review team, we've got XB, aka Callum, and then here from the Stream Team Dream Team, we've got Dom and Dan as well. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight to chat the first year of Stadia, and what a crazy year it has been. Can you guys believe that it's only been a year since those first codes went out, and then we were all like, hey, where's our code? Wait a minute, where's our code? Oh no, where'd the codes go? And then the next set, and then the next set, and the next set. But it has been a crazy year. Rokk, tell me about your favorite game from year one of Stadia. What do you think you either put the most time into or that really captured you the most?
Yeah, so it's funny. I was having a look at you can look at your stats on your profile and see how many hours you've put in. And I thought, well, I wonder what it would be. Was it Break? Was it, Assassins? Turns out it was Destiny. It was 194 hours. And that goes with the 3,500 hours that I'd already played in Destiny before Stadia turned up. So, I mean, come on, Rokk, you could have given it a break for a year. What the hell's wrong with you, man? So yeah, I played Destiny the most, but I played so many great games and, collected every single pro game and played some. I was saying this the other day. One of the great things about the pro games is that, out of between the 4 and 6 on average, there may be one standout game, and there's a couple you think, well, yeah, maybe. But then you play them and you think, wow, I would never have played that game if it hadn't have been part of the pro collection. And so I've had an opportunity to play some games that I would just never have touched. And that's been amazing. I've loved that. And, it gives as well, I think, certainly year one of Stadia has been the year of the independence, as far as I'm concerned. It's given an opportunity for a lot of studios that may not have got much airtime elsewhere to launch titles for the first time on Stadia. And actually get appreciation from people that are just really pleased to see content and shared the love. So, that's been a standout for me. A lot of games have been a surprise, I think.
Yeah, a lot of indie games getting a lot of love here in the first year. Clive, I know that you've played just about everything on the platform as well. What's been that hidden gem for you that, as Rokk said, you might not have ever tried out, but it came to you in the first year of Stadia?
I was just looking it up because I can't remember its title, but I'm probably say it wrong, so I feel really bad. It's two things actually. When I kind of think back way back in the beginning, I really enjoyed revisiting Lara Croft. I'd play them all on Xbox and other platforms, but playing them on Stadia was just really underscored for me, like how awesome it looked. I mean, because those games are often games people use as benchmarks to how powerful their computer is, and wow, look at this. And I know, Linus Tech Tips, whenever he has a mega gaming rig setup, he always tests out one of the Tomb Raider games just to sort of say, look at that, isn't it amazing? And so I remember playing those Tomb Raiders games again and thinking, wow, everything I'm thinking about Stadia, like just how it looks so good and it plays so well, is being reaffirmed by these games that we know can look really good. But in terms of the lesser games, I would say the two games, oddly enough, Guilt,
Day one release game.
Because it had an emotional tug to it, and it was an interesting, it had an interesting theme within the game. It tackled interesting themes, and it did it in a kind of really interesting way. And I come to expect that in a way from Tequila Works. The games have moved me before, but seeing like a sort of exclusive on which it was at the time, on Stadia, was really nice, and it was just a great game to play. And then the other one, I'm going to say it wrong, if it's Beyond the Page.
Lost Words.
Lost Words, thank you. Lost Words, thank you. That, again, I wouldn't have necessarily gone out and bought it, but playing it again, it was just a wonderful, imaginative, clever game that used classic platforming techniques, but in a really interesting way. That idea of platforming across sentences and across the page, and pulling down sort of slight tears in the page or things like that was just so it was just so imaginative, and again a really kind of emotional core to the kind of story. So I really enjoyed those games as sort of surprises, and being able to think of wow, you can discover some really interesting things that you perhaps wouldn't necessarily play, when most of the games I play are of that sort of first person, third person sort of campaign type things, that you're gonna your Destinies or your Tomb Raiders or your Sniper Elites, on those kind of things. You're more sort of conventional games, as it were. So it's just nice to have that opportunity that the Pro delivers by giving you a range of games to try. I mean, not everyone is my cup of tea, but I'll give them all a go. Although it's getting increasingly hard to give them all a go. To be honest, the
numbers just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, I gotta play something, you guys. Give me 5 minutes.
The last few months, it's been like, normally I would have at least looked at every single game within that month's Pro, but in the last sort of 3 months, I've not been able to do that, or I'm still catching up because there's so many of them. It's just getting crazy.
We've had 16 games in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
The Stadia doesn't have any games, you guys. There's no games on Stadia.
Stop it, Stadia.
That's enough. We've had enough games. That's probably never the case.
Liars.
But, so many folks in the chat. Hey, folks in the chat, tell us what your most unexpectedly delightful game of the first year of Stadia has been. We'll pull a few of you up as we go. Dom, obviously, I know you were happy to get Dead by Daylight finally on Stadia, because that is a game that you have racked up 4 digits worth of hours in. But beyond the dragging folks into the beyond, what has been some other kind of interesting moments for you on Stadia this first year?
Do you know what? I've never played roguelike games, and when Risk of Rain dropped, I was sort of like, well, that seems quite interesting, but I didn't pick it up. I didn't buy it, and then it came to when it came out on Pro. And I've put something about 30, 40 hours into that. And I'm literally addicted to it with my friend. Ollie, we actually completed it today, a few hours ago, on the more on the middle difficulty.
Did he launch himself off the thing again, or did he finally stay
you know what?
the
For those familiar with it, you do basically 6 worlds, and on the 6th world, you kill the final boss. But on the 5th world, if you want to, you can redo the whole set again and keep building your items. And we did that, and we had a ton of items and were super strong, and then both of us just like died instantly, and we were so disappointed. And then the next game, it was just a really bad start, but we managed to complete it and finish it. It's a really fun game. It changes every time you play it, and there's lots of variety and stuff. So probably, Risk of Rain is probably my surprise hit of the first year.
And you're not the only person. Lord Vivek in the chat saying the same thing. Risk of Rain was a big surprise for them. Patrick Harris, one of our members who hit that join button down below. Patrick saying Hitman surprised the heck out of him. Pierce saying Guilt. Eli Levy with Human Fall Flat. Eli Levy is the only reason we made it through Human Fall Flat when we played it on stream. And so big shout out to you, Eli, for carrying us through that game. Hell Monkey 88 with Little Nightmares. Actually, a lot of folks, that one kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of people as well. April with the £2 super chat. Thanks, April. We appreciate you supporting the stream today. Saying Guilt. Again, just a remarkable game for it to be one of the launch titles that really did just like, the launch titles were like the Assassin's Creed, and then you're like Guilt, and here's this nice little title that kind of snuck up on a lot of folks. The Turing test from Andrew. Andrew, I wasn't the biggest fan of that game, but I played quite a bit. Or no, I'm thinking of Relicta. Relicta was the one
Turing was a great game.
I really did enjoy Turing.
Yeah, I finished it. It was cool.
Yeah, it was definitely a good game. Jim, our good friend, what's up, gamers? Jim, I stole your line because you were on mute. You couldn't do it.
You might
do
as well
anything about it.
I think you have the rights now. Co-rights. Keep using it.
Well, you have been one of the folks along with Adam on our team and the 9 to 5 Google and stuff, who spent a lot of time in this first year really tearing into the code underneath Stadia and the APKs and the website to try to mine those little hints and tips about what could possibly be coming down the road. And you've hit quite a bit during that time. Things like messaging, things like crowd choice on the way, things like the assistant on the way, things of that nature. As you've been, you've kind of got this reputation now in the community for being the man inside the code, like you're seeing inside the matrix. You took the pill, and you can kind of see that. What's been surprising to you about Stadia, the platform, here in the first year, and the way that they've been growing the platform?
Well, I'm still waiting for crowd play because that's the one I'm really waiting
Aren't
for.
we all? Farmer Man on Sunday, you guys.
But it's just, I feel like Stadia is about, it's like assisting YouTube. Like it's just a coincidence that I ended up being a content creator and I like streaming, but I feel like Stadia works so well with streaming. Just not yet, but in the future it will be with like crowd play and direct to stream to YouTube and stuff. And then you have like game state share. Like it is so like very social. Like it's not just about content creators or streaming, but it's just so social. Like we can now share screenshots and clips. Eventually we're going to share game state shares with Hitman 3. And it's all about just the community. And before we even got those features, I mean, look at us right now. We got Stadia Source, and we have like 50 more Stadia content creators just constantly making videos, but making podcasts, joining each other's collaborations and stuff. And then you got the Stadia Reddit people, Stadia Twitter people, Stadia YouTube people just coming together, and just like this community is just straight up like a actual family. And I've never witnessed that in any other platform in my life, and I've been gaming for over 20 years. So that's what I think about the Stadia, the platform.
I couldn't agree with you more that we really have formed a family here. In fact, I'm going to give shout out to Ray, the gaming cyborg, who will be on with us later to play a little homemade family feud. I think you guys are going to like that. With the $5 super chat saying happy birthday, Stadia. We appreciate you, Ray. And it's a perfect example. There were some folks in the creator, I saw earlier today, some folks in the creator community that noticed that Ray was having a little trouble with his share and having some health issues related to that. I don't want to get all your details, Ray, but a bunch of folks chipped in to get him a new chair. because we love our friends and family in the creator community. And you see that all the time with really folks coming together and supporting each other. We've had creators with health issues. We've had creators with family issues. We've had creators really going through some struggles, and the family and the community that we built over this first year has really been remarkable. I'm fairly late to the game in terms of that. I only became a part of the creator community in July, but it's been wonderful to see. And Dan, you've been, you registered StadiaSource.com right after that first GDC and got right in on the ground of it to help build that community. And Dan, what's kind of stood out to you in this first year? As kind of one of the news leaders in the community.
Well, games wise, I mean, obviously it's got to be Destiny 2 as well. Probably one of the biggest games of that's currently on Stadia, and I've probably racked up just as much hours as what Rokk has as well. Although I have kind of fell out with it a little bit. I'm not so excited about this new update, but that's a different story altogether. Some of the best games I've actually played have been some of the ones that I wouldn't think for a second that I would have liked. I mean, I can remember when my friend put Human Fall Flat on, and I was like, I'll humor him for about half an hour maybe. You know what I mean? And then we ended up completing the game, and then we jumped in and completed it again with Avery and Eli. So yeah, that was probably one of the bigger games. And then just things like Super Bomberman. Again, I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy playing it. It's probably just some of those games that you would never have played if it wasn't for the fact that it was on Stadia Pro. Again, I think Rokk said that earlier, and Clive. So it's in terms of the game, that's what stood out to me the most. I can't really say many of the features have stood out because we still haven't got many of them. But from what I have seen, I mean, we've seen people with crowd play and we have crowd choice and stuff like that. So, I mean, when they finally launch for the general public, they're going to be absolute game changers. And I don't know why they've sat on it for as long as they have, but
well, you were just saying the other day that you brought your dad into your family. So family sharing was one of the big recent features that just launched. And your dad's been on the show before. We've had Dan Dad in the past. And you were just saying that there were games that he was looking at but probably not going to play. And then you brought him in the family group, and boom, now he's right back in.
He was humming and hawing. He was thinking, do I get a PlayStation? Do I get an Xbox? Do I stick with Stadia? He wanted a new console just for the shiny new thing that sits on your living room TV. But I says I might kind of give up on Stadia because there's nothing really that I want to play. And I says, why don't I just add you to my family group? And he went from having 2 games minus some of the ones he got from Pro when he was Pro to now he's got 70 games. So and he's decided he doesn't want an Xbox or a PlayStation now. He's sticking with Stadia, at least for the interim. So
big ups in the chat to Victor, who I don't know why StreamYard doesn't like the actual sticker that you sent. It was a dancing hot dog, which is adorable. Or no, is it just a hot dog? It's just a hot. I'm picturing it dancing in my head because I like hot dogs and they make me dance. That's terrible. We're gonna not clip that ever. And then Lee becoming a YouTube member, not our Lee, but a Lee. Great Lee. We love you, Lee. Thanks for joining at the silver level. He hit that join button down below, and we definitely appreciate that. Folks in the chat, tell us of those first kind of that first year, what the cool features that have added have been for you. Maybe it was 4K, maybe it was the inklings of the assistant. Callum, you have been one of our reviewers for the past couple of months, and you've jumped in and reviewed several games on the site, which you can see at stadiasource.com, number source on the internet. And in that set of games that you've taken the time to review, tell us about what's kind of stood out to you and what's been your that underrepresented gem that you've had a chance to take a look at.
Well, I'd say Destiny was probably the top game. I think everyone agrees on that. I don't know. It's quite hard.
Jim's like, I don't care.
No. I have to say Risk of Rain 2 is up there. But I don't know. There's so many good choices. I think the top one that I would never have even thought about would be Ember. Ember was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a good job.
That was quite a fun game. But yeah, mainly Risk of Rain 2. I like my roguelites, and I would never have thought about giving that a try until I got a review copy. So That was excellent fun.
Yeah, we played that the other day on the playground with some of the guys here, and it was super fun. I've always liked the kind of roguelike kind of games because there's a lot of it reminds me of like super old Flash games. I'm gonna harken back to, I know Dan, who's a Flash developer, and then of course Rokk and Clive as well. Remember the old Flash games where you'd pick up a thing and then go beat the thing. And it was like it took you 10 minutes, like 20 minutes, but you could just pick it up, play it, put it down, pick it up, play it, put it down. And I love those kind of games. I think for me in this first year of Stadia, it's really been on the gaming side. For me, Stadia has been an opportunity for me to play stuff that I've always wanted to, that I've just never had a chance. One of the, you got to rebuy your games on Stadia. Well, we've said it time and time and again. It's not rebuying if you never played it the first time. Like if you've never owned it, you're not buying it again. So getting to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Final Fantasy 15 were huge for me because I never had the chance before. And to finally be able to get in and enjoy those games has just been wonderful. And Kumna, thank you for upgrading your membership there. It's kind of cool. It says you were already a member. We love you, but thank you for upgrading. We appreciate that as well. In the time that we have left, I shouldn't click on tabs in StreamYard that I shouldn't click on. In the time we have left, let's go around the table, and I want everybody to kind of give not of the games that we've talked about so far, none of those, but other games that you have played in the library that you think people should give a chance to. Maybe it's one of the pro games that came out that maybe not enough people have tried. Or maybe it's even one of the paid games, one of the indie games, whatever else, that you think more people really ought to give that chance to try. I'm going to start off by saying one of my favorite games from the first year is another one of those library titles, and it's Celeste. Dan just started playing Celeste thanks to Scarlett streaming it on Sunday and getting into that game, and it's got this music to it. It's got this art style to it. It's got this story that really speaks to struggle and growth as a person and dealing with your demons, literally confronting your demons. And if you haven't played it on another platform, that's a game that people thought would not work on Stadia because you got to be twitchy. It's a platformer. You got to make that jump, and it works perfectly on Stadia. So check out.
I played it for like 2 hours whilst the missus were watching I'm a Celeb, and my hands literally hurt afterwards, and like it's a good thing when your hands hurt because you've been playing it properly then. But it's just one of those games I haven't had that kind of challenge since Super Meat Boy on the Xbox. So yeah, that was one of the games I was going to mention, but I completely forgot. So I'm glad you brought it up.
No worries. Dom, what about you? What's a game people shouldn't sleep on out of the current library on Stadia?
So I really enjoyed Trials Rising when it first came out. I put a good couple of hours, and also I think Spitlings is kind of a hidden gem as well. It's one
of the very early pro titles.
Yeah, and it was just an easy pick up and play. Like I remember playing it with friends who it was like one of their first games on Stadia, and it was just easy just to jump in. And we were playing League of Legends or whatever, and said, "Oh, let's take a quick break, jump onto Stadia for 20 minutes, play some Spitlings, and then go back." It was a perfect game to pick up and play. And of course, it's got local split screen, so you can play with people at home and stuff, and with all the new controllers that Google seem to be sending out willy-nilly, it just worked out great.
Another big perk of year one, getting those free controllers.
Speaking of Spitlings, we've got the troll phone on himself soon, haven't we?
I don't know. I don't know that reference. Oh yes, our good friend Duncan will be on with us at our next segment. Dan, what about you? What's the sleeper hit from year one?
Super Bomberman, probably. I mean, we have had so much fun on our community playgrounds. The community's kind of dwindled a little bit since, but it's still just one of those fun games where everybody can play. You can have a lobby of up to 64 people, so nobody gets left out, and everybody can just have a crack over time. So
fantastic. Rokk, how about you?
The game that I think most people have overlooked, and it's actually probably one of the best games on the platform, is Rage 2. which was a really good title even before it was on Stadia, but was another one of those games that people kind of overlook it, but it's a really, really good game. It's if you like first-person shooters, I mean, if you don't, then it probably isn't. But it's a really nice, very attractive, well-accomplished game. It's got lots of good missions. It's a big open world. It's got all the ingredients, the kind of games I love anyway, the sort of Ubisoft games. So yeah, I would say I don't know that it's never been a pro game, has it? It's always been in the store. Should be a pro
sales, but not pro now.
Yeah, it should be. It's a really good game. Highly recommend that one.
Jem, real quick, what about you as we're wrapping up here?
Well, you guys know what I'm gonna say, so don't blame me. It's not a Stadia game. Crash Bandicoot 4.
That is not your sleeper hit,
It's
Jem.
not my fault that it's not on Stadia.
That's it. Sorry, no, you lost your
Okay,
turn.
Stadia game.
You lost your turn.
No. Okay, Stadia game. Crash Bandicoot 4. No, Spirit Fair.
Sorry, I'm mean you.
Spirit Fair.
He's the real hidden gem, isn't he? Look at him.
Yeah, but
Gem.
even though as hidden gem as Spirit Fair is, it's no Crash Bandicoot 4.
Clive.
Yeah,
briefly, Clive.
Someone shouted out Little Nightmares earlier, and that is a great game. But my main ones would be if you've never played the Metro games, Metro Exodus especially. There's something about that game design that makes it very different from other first-person campaign style games, and then the story's great as well, and there's real character and emotion in there. And it looks brilliant. It looks fantastic.
Absolutely. Callum, how about you? Really briefly, your hidden gem of the first year.
I'd say too quickly. Super Hot, the best independent game in the last 10 years, hands down. No
Go ahead,
question.
Chad. Just do the Super Hot. You want
Do
to.
Super Hot. They're the most innovative shooter in years. And then clearly the Phoenix Rising demo. That was beautiful.
Count that. It's the first year. It's still available.
Phoenix Rising demo was absolutely incredible. I would have overlooked it completely because Ubisoft have had a bit of a weird track record in the last few years. So
don't say that to Rokk. God.
What the?
Well, not to me personally, but to most of the community.
You've gone and set him off
I
now.
love Ubisoft. Ubisoft are like my favorite developer.
All right, Rokk, Jem, Clive, so good to have you guesting with us tonight. Real quick, drop your Twitter handle so people can find you. Rokk, where are you at?
Stadia Rocks.
Jem?
Thank you for watching Stadia Source. This is Jem, and I'll see you on the next one.
At Jem Stadia and Clive.
Yeah, at Clive Illenden or YouTube /Clive Illenden for the Stadia Monday night chat.
Yes, and the Retro Gaming Show with these two as well. You can check out their details on the creators page at stadiasource.com. Link is in the description below. Rokk, Jem, Clive, thank you so much for joining us on the 1-year anniversary celebration to highlight Stadia. We appreciate you. We love you guys. And now you got to go because this train's rolling on. Good.
Enjoy
to
your
have
birthday.
you.
Have some cake.
Enjoy.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye, guys. So good to have everybody in that first little session there. I'm going to boot out Clive so that our other guests can join us. If you are just tuning in, this is the 1-year creator celebration. Oh, Dom, are you skedaddling as well?
Yeah, I think I'm out of this one, am I?
You can stick around. Absolutely. We got the space. We'll kick people out midway through. If you're just joining us, this is the creator celebration celebrating 1 year of Stadia in the world. We're so excited, and we wanted to give an opportunity for all of our creator buddies to jump on in and join us and have fun enjoying chatting about year 1 of Stadia. So we're going to say hi to our good friends Duncan. Did I lose somebody? I don't know who I just lost. I think Callum dropped. Okay. We're going to say hi to Duncan from Cloudy with a Chance of Games. We're going to say hi to Stadia Talks Chase, aka the Gaming Advocate. We've got your favorite friend, Eddie Player One. And of course, Stadia Rev joining us as well. And from the Stream Team Dream Team, we got And Now Your Mama Knows wearing that cowboy hat. And joining us as well, we've got King Ejahmix, who is connecting all his doodads and will be with us here in just 1 second. Gentlemen, it has been a crazy, crazy day for Stadia news, and we brought you here to talk about the anniversary news roundup. So lots and lots and lots of stuff to talk about here in this first section. And it's been a day, you guys. We woke up like, all right, let's do this thing, and all the news hit. We're gonna rewind just a hair because I kind of bundle this into the news. Yeah. Two big pieces of news that hit us right before today was that Destiny 2 was going truly free to play. So no credit card, no pro account, no nothing. Now you can play D2 with no hassle whatsoever. Anybody anywhere in one of the 14 supported countries, we'll talk more about that in just a second, can get in and play Destiny 2. Duncan, I know this has been on your wish list forever to get a real free-to-play game so that anybody could actually just try Stadia.
No, it hasn't, Dean. You're sitting there lying as per usual.
I don't want anybody to participate. Go away. My state.
This has been on my wish list for a while, and I have said numerous times that I think it was going to come at some stage. It's come a bit later than I wanted, but I'm absolutely buzzing that it has, because this is just going to open up everybody onto Stadia. It just drops down the barriers and gets no excuses not to try it now. So floodgates are open. Absolutely amazing, and it's now going to start the speculation on what other free-to-play games are going to come now. So that's the exciting thing. We all know we don't want Rogue Company coming because that's a rubbish game, and no one likes it on this panel at all.
We're gonna start some fights tonight on StreamYard. It would seem. Well, Chase, you've been advocating for a while that the best way to open the door to get people to come in is to open the door.
Yeah, I mean, it's first of all, Duncan, how dare you say such blasphemy? Second of all, and second of all, yeah, I mean, so it's good to see the platform being at the place that it's at now, and they have enough confidence. They have to have got enough blades to do this, which obviously they do now. Otherwise, they wouldn't be opening it up. It's I think it just shows the confidence that they have, and that it's a good sign. And again, to your point, Avery, you want more people to try it, you give it to them for free. That's the best form of advertising, is FREE, free.
And Rev, I know we've gotten into Twitter. We got into Twitter about this before, about like Stadia doing the stuff they got to do to grow. And this right here is it. This is the thing that says they're ready to move on. Year 2, let's do this thing.
Yeah. The whole thing that I was always going on is I just go on what they say, what the last thing they said, and that's that, until something is changed, until they say something different. That's the thing that I go on. And now when you look at it, like Chase was saying, this is a ballsy move, because first of all, they were giving away the Premier Edition with the YouTube Premium during the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 launch. So it's like, yeah, we're fine with them doing that. And hey, look, we got this over here. And then they come back the next week and say, oh yeah, and we're making Destiny 2 free to play for everybody. And that's like everybody, in the supported countries, of course. But I'm just saying that's everybody. So they wouldn't be making that move unless they were super confident in their system and their ability to do this. And I just want to say one more thing to that. I believe that they were confident in their system and their ability to scale it way before this move. I think they were confident in it to scale it from the beginning, because even though there was a paywall to get in there, they didn't limit the amount of people that could buy it in the supported countries. If you wanted to buy a Premier Edition, you could buy it wherever Stadia was available. So even if we see a whole lot of numbers growing from this free to play thing, they could have done that months ago, if people were getting on board with it, and they still would have been able to handle the influx of people that would be coming in from the launch all the way up until now. So I think they were confident and they were just ready, period.
Now I know we've got a few folks on the panel tonight who are big Destiny 2 players. Anthony, I'm sure you're very excited to see a few more Cloud folks joining those lobbies, huh?
Yeah, I think two things just really important. One is Destiny, and Destiny is a really pretty game, right? So they could have chose any game for free, but Destiny is really hot right now because of the DLC that just came out or their expansion. So once a year, Destiny do they one big expansion, and it's right now, right? They just launched. So, and then two, again, it's a pretty game. I mean, anyone look at that game, if you see me playing it on my phone, you're gonna be like, wait, what? I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was trying to explain to them that they was like, oh, well, I was telling them how Destiny is going to be free. And they was like, oh, I couldn't play that on my phone. I said, no. You can play it on just about any phone. It's not the hardware of the phone is being streamed. So I think Destiny is the perfect game to go free because right now it's at one of its biggest stages just because it's hot right now because of the expansion. And two, because it looks amazing. And it's a lot going on. You could imagine on your phone watching, 6v6 shootouts, and it looks so pretty. So Destiny is the perfect game, I think, for them to do that.
Yeah, Dom, I know you've been you had some thoughts on this in the Slack earlier.
I'm just excited because I think it was Jack Buser that did the interview today and basically said there are many free-to-play games coming. So whether that's things like finally they've convinced Epic to do Fortnite, there was that sort of slip up by Ubisoft with Hyperscape. Whether that's coming or it's
just keep tweeting about it, and it just keeps not being real yet. Like, come on, guys.
And there's still things like Apex, which we've had sort of hints about, and EA have yet to announce what their other games are going to be. It's exciting, and it's having free to play with no sign up necessary. Literally create an account and you can play. Is just going to not open the floodgates necessarily, but. I think, again, to the Jack Buser interview, he basically said the people that try it actually end up sticking around. It's the people that haven't tried it and go, oh, that's terrible. Once they actually get in and try it and realize that it's actually not what they've heard and what they've read or what they've seen, then it works and they stick around. So more free-to-play games, the better.
So I know Duncan confirmed earlier that the Hyperscape thing was a genuine error, but, one of these days. Eddie, what's the one free-to-play game that got to get on that you've been waiting on? That the free-to-play floodgates are open, what's that game we got to get?
You know it. It got to be Warzone just because of the size of that thing and downloads. But I would be happy if a Hyperscape or even Apex arrives. I feel like those are the big shooters that, although Destiny is tremendously cool, I'm not a big fan of Destiny, so I can't talk about Destiny too much, but either Apex or Warzone, I feel like is going to be the next step, but we are already walking on the right direction.
And speaking of free, before the end of this segment, I'm going to be giving out a Stadia Pro Pass. So one of you folks in the chat today could take home your own 3-month subscription to Stadia Pro to play all those cool things. Thank you, Kevin Webb, for giving that up for us to play today. And I'll give one later in the show as well. So don't just tune out when we play. You going to stick around. It's good stuff. Speaking of free, they brought the Immortals Phoenix Rising demo back as well. So right here in this little span of time, they're like, let's throw Premier Editions out there. You got YouTube, let's do this thing. Then they're like, you know what? Everybody, play some Destiny. Hey, I got an idea. While you're playing the Destiny, hop over and trial some Immortals Phoenix Rising. Hey, today, you want to order Cyberpunk? We're going to send you Control 2. We'll talk about that next. But something has triggered. Yeah, something is like snapped. And now they're like, let's just do this. Everybody, get your controllers, get it in play. Eddie, I know you got thoughts on this. Or
I have to take this call. I really have to take this call.
Okay.
No worries. I don't know what just happened, but it's okay. Rev, I know you got thoughts on this.
I always got thoughts on something.
Are you excited to see Immortals Phoenix Rising back in the set?
Yes, because I didn't get a chance to finish it the first time. I started playing something else and just it took my time, and yeah, I didn't get a chance to really finish it all because I think I was having some controller issues. So it was kind of unplayable for me with the issues that I was having. So to have it back now, I think I got my controller issues pretty much under control. And so I'm definitely going to jump back into it and try to finish it out this time ahead of the game release. But yeah, I'm excited about that because I think I was talking to Project about this, and I think that this is the actual demo that they mentioned before in the Ubisoft Forward, and that the good stuff demo was just a little tease of it to see if you see how people would react to
this
it.
demo longer? Has anybody
Yes,
played
this
this
demo
one?
This demo is until December 21st.
Oh, sorry, I thought
17th,
I meant in
it
terms
is.
of gameplay. Like there's no more games in it, but it's okay.
Like, remember when they said in the Ubisoft Forward that they were going to have a demo of that, and then I guess it was like it gave you a couple days taste of it in the good stuff event, and then here is the actual demo period before the game launches. I think that this is that period of time that they were actually referring to. So yeah, but I'm excited. I'm happy for it.
But and Eddie, did you get are you excited for the Immortals demo?
I opened it again earlier today. I opened it and I started to play it. I said to my wife, I have other stuff to play, but this game is so good. So I played for like 10 minutes and say, all right, I'll come back later because I have other stuff to play.
The Stadia playlist never gets smaller. It never gets smaller.
No.
I also just realized that Eddie and I switched colors somehow. I don't know how we reversed that. Dan, you had mentioned that you were sad that you didn't think to complete the demo because you weren't going to get the special armor, and now you. There we go. Now we match. That's lovely. So, for those of you watching the YouTube, you can now see that we're live. And if not, then head to our YouTube channel. You can check it out later. So yeah, Dan, are you actually going to play the demo this time and get that limited edition armor?
If I remember, yeah. I've still not played it yet, but I've got plenty of time to do so I will.
You definitely have more time. Well, speaking of things that you have more time for, you have a little bit more time to pre-order Cyberpunk 20. That's a terrible segue, you guys. It's absolutely terrible. You have some more time to pre-order Cyberpunk 2077, and when you do it, you will take home yet another free Premiere Edition. Yet another opportunity that Stadia is going. But Eddie with the Premiere right there, I got mine. All those boxes are being delivered from the YouTube thing, so everybody's like, "Oh yeah, there's my Premiere." It's not the same, Duncan. It's not the same.
Duncan had to, right?
Did you pre-order Cyberpunk at all, or does this entice you more to do so? That was to Duncan, yes. That was to our reluctant, our PS4 player, Duncan.
PS5 player, Duncan. Yes, I have. PS5, PS4 Pros over there as well. I have pre-ordered it, and I will be getting that up, and I think I'm going to give that to someone else to give them the joys of Stadia. Absolutely amazing offer again. I've said this to a couple of people. This is the exact thing that On Live did, and many years ago, maybe we don't want to make that comparison, but this is what they did. If you bought a game, they chucked out the hardware, chucked out the controller just to get people into it, because if you've actually got the physical hardware there, it's harder to say no to it, and you get stuck into the ecosystem. If that's good or bad, you can make your mind up. But yeah, this is a absolutely amazing offer, especially for the people who weren't able to pick it up if they weren't YouTube Premier or YouTube Premium subscribers. This opens this up to everybody to get up their second Premier edition.
Yeah, now we know why the supplies were limited, because they had to hold a few back for this promotion. Saying a big thank you to JXR1 joining at the gold level. Awesome, JXR. We're so happy to have you as a part of the Stadia Source family. We're super glad you hit that button. And while everybody's looking down there at the buttons I'm talking about, hit that thumbs up button, you guys. But Chase, I know this is a big move for them. And I said this earlier. when Bill was doing his open mic with StadiaCast, who will be on later this evening, that this is the exact opposite of what consoles manufacturers do. It's usually you buy the console and they give you a free game, and now Stadia said you buy the game and we'll give you the console. And, I mean, because Stadia's not really a console, but you get all the stuff you need. And this is kind of a cool little twist on that way, and another way for people to get into the ecosystem.
Absolutely, and it's a smart marketing strategy. It's the way that you go about things to, again, do what in a time where people are having difficulties in getting their hands on consoles, which we know it's happening right now. At a time where people can't necessarily afford consoles, you have the ability to maybe not compete with PlayStation and Xbox, because that's not what it's about right now for them. Yeah. But it's about gaining a little bit of mind share in the moment. And I have to say, the two biggest bits of news from today was this move. And that interview, Dom just alluded to a little bit earlier, but the interview that Jack Buser did today, that interview has been needed for months. And it's great that we finally got a roadmap going into 2021. And I know I'm segueing away from that, but I just wanted to really hit that home real quick, that interview is the single biggest piece that they've done. And Phil Harrison, Google, Stadia, if you're listening, he is your Aaron Greenberg. Let the man be the guy that should be the face of your brand. Speaking in public, please.
Chase, I agree. He's such a good advocate for Stadia. Every interview he does, he normally nails it out of the park. Like he's clearly a gamer. He loves Stadia. Yeah, get him out there.
Because Jack, if you're watching now, I'll send you the StreamYard link. You're welcome to just ping me on Twitter at CharmCityA. I'm happy
to. Avery, just real quick to add to Dom's point is it's because he knows how to speak to gamers and he knows how to speak to general consumers. And
because
that's
he is
why
one.
Exactly. He's played games for years. He's been at PlayStation. He's got so much experience. It's unparalleled. He's the perfect guy. Sorry, just had to throw that in there. But Cyberpunk news is amazing. Man. Great marketing and a great move by Stadia. The other big news from today.
I mean, this is arguably the biggest game left to come out this year. Cyberpunk is the one that we've all been waiting for this whole year.
Man, I have been waiting for 7 years about this game.
It's the one we're gonna get finally before 2077 when it was planned on coming out, unless they post another one of those dang posts again. Finally able to join us with all the tech issues resolved. It's Ejahmix. Hey. Did you pre-order Cyberpunk? Are you excited to get your free premiere, or is this not on your list?
Oh yeah, I definitely pre-ordered Cyberpunk like I want to say a month ago. So yeah, I've been already ready to go and get it.
So they're like, by the way, you also get a free thing today.
Yeah.
So it's good to have you, and definitely good that they're really ramping up the efforts. Anytime they do anything new, I'm like, yes, more of those things. And in fact, speaking of more of those things, guys, it's official. iOS support finally landing on Stadia 1 year later, plus a few weeks as they begin the slow rollout. But we've heard rumors of this forever because Adam from our team and Jim and all those guys doing the APK teardowns have found little bits and pieces. Did I say? I did not know. People are saying I said the F word. I totally didn't. When did I? I'll watch the replay. I'm almost certain that I didn't. Somebody that I did. I don't. It's not my thing.
It was a glitch in the system.
There we go. Yeah. Now I'm like, gosh, I'm gonna turn like bright red here. I'll just rearrange the colors. So iOS support finally official. And it is about time. Do we have any iPad or iPhone people on the panel that want to talk about how excited you are? Eddie, and then Duncan. Eddie, chime in and tell us how important this moment is.
So I do have an iPad, but it's not mine. It's my son's right now. But I feel like I will probably use more. So I'll let Duncan talk because he is on the high garden.
Yes, I am completely in the walled garden of Apple. It's about time. It's absolutely brilliant that it's actually coming. Strange day with GeForce Now also dropping it as well today, and then in the Verge article as well, xCloud is on its way as well. So it looks like Stadia is going to beat xCloud into getting it, but it looks like everything's going to be pretty much all together. The Apple stuff is really important. we can go into the Apple versus Android sort of talk all day long, but Apple users are more likely to drop the money, drop spend, and all that. The stats are there, so getting them on board is really, really big. And since there's been talks about the F-bomb, I'm just going to drop it now. So here we go. Every year.
Oh! I didn't know what was gonna happen there. We're gonna now we got the explicit tag. Duncan, come on, we can't have that around here. I'll tell you, at least I can understand why. I mean, obviously they're Google, so of course they're gonna have Android first, and they're gonna prioritize everything for Android because globally Android is 75% of the market. But in the US and UK and such, we broke Chase. I don't know how we broke Chase, but somehow we broke Chase. In the US, I'm pressing on. It's 50-50. So, half of the United States market has not been able to play on their phones. And then the iPad is by far the number one tablet out there. I'm sorry, but just there hasn't been a decent Google tablet since the Nexus 7, which I dearly miss and would play Stadia on today if it wasn't broken. But yeah. I'm sure I have people who would argue with me on that.
I honestly think iPad's more important than iPhone.
Yep.
Personally, because I think more people will enjoy playing on an iPad. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, I love playing things on my phone. I've tried, and I have the Ausley grip, and I'm just like, yeah, I just can't get on with it. It's too small. I need a bigger screen. Anyway, sorry. Yeah,
because you need the claw.
You got to get a Galaxy Fold.
You gotta rock the hardware that our Cowboys got.
I could turn my thing and just sit here with a controller. That's how I play a lot of times. I sit in the bed with my wife, and I'm just sitting here with a controller, thing around my neck. 7.3 inch screen. Just saying.
It's not the size of your screen. So Ejahmix, have you been an iPerson? Do you have an iPad, iPhone, any of that kind of stuff?
No, I'm Android all the way. That's kind of what made me, interested in Stadia because it was from Google, and they're, Android and Google go hand in hand. So I've been Android for a long time.
Well, it is good to finally see. This happening, and with the global expansion comes more countries. One of the things that kind of snuck through today, the news was weird today because there was like a couple of things that got tweeted by Stadia, and then like a bunch of articles that got released, and we had articles up as well. And then just random like Stadia themselves tweeting other people writing about Stadia. As by way of, I'm like, y'all realize you have a blog, right? You could post it, but it's fine. It's fine. So one of the things buried at the bottom of that was that Stadia is coming to more countries. In the official posting, they said more European countries. In other things that we've seen, it was referenced as EMEA countries, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So we definitely know it's probably European countries. The terms of service have recently been updated to add a bunch of countries that weren't previously there. But I know this is big because obviously more players in more places play more Stadia. Dan, I would ask about all the. Do we have a lot of people from non-UK Europe who visit the site clearly hungry for that? What do you think about the expansion of Stadia here?
I mean, the more places, the better, and especially when you've got countries that. Emerging countries that are getting better internet now, so that they can obviously jump in and play Stadia, and then there's countries that maybe people can't afford to buy a new Xbox or a new PlayStation as well. So that gives them a viable option to be able to jump in and play, the latest AAA games at a really good quality as well. And I know I'm starting to see quite a lot of, not just on the site but on Twitter as well, just a ton of people coming out from different countries. I'm having to use that translate button on Twitter quite a lot lately because obviously I can't read anything but English. But there's definitely there's definitely demand from it from other countries. So
it's big news week. And we have a special guest in one of our Brady Bunch boxes. Not sure.
They was barking in agreement.
Yes, clearly they're in for those Russian expansion. No, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. There was even more news that we could not get to this week on today's chat. Guys, chat finally launched. Party chat. Like, how long have we been waiting for that? Finally launched. Check out all of those articles at Stadia Source, your number one source for Stadia news reviews, or Cloudy with a Chance of Games. If you want to check out the other news that Duncan referenced, there's a bunch of other cloud news that hit today with GeForce Now and xCloud and things. We've said it. Jack Buser said it in his article today that a rising tide lifts all boats. And so very clearly, the more people playing cloud, the more people are going to want to play cloud. I think on that. Before we wrap up this segment, Eddie, Chase, I'll ask the same question that I asked to the last one. Very, very briefly, what is the one game in the first year of Stadia that people should not sleep on? Maybe not one of the big titles, but a game that you have loved. Very, very quickly, tell us your game and then drop your Twitter handle or your YouTube channel so people know where to find you. We'll start with Eddie and go that way.
Said it on the chat while I was hanging on the previous segment. Spiritfarer, guys. It's a very cool, feel-good game. I spent over 40 hours there. I completed everything. I just have one trophy to finish, but I'm not coming back. But Spiritfarer, which, by the way, it's on the list of indie games of the year for the Game Awards happening in December. So I would definitely say go check it out, Spiritfarer.
It's also on sale, isn't it?
Yes, it is on sale right now
sale.
on the indie sale. And don't forget to follow me at Twitter at EddiePlayer1.
Fantastic. Chase, what's your sleeper hit?
Lost Words Beyond the Page. It's a great game. And I'm not done with it yet, but I'm almost completed it. It's phenomenal. If you haven't played it, you're missing out. It's one of the best story-driven narrative experiences out there, and it's great. And you can find me on Twitter at Phantom UFC Fan.
Fantastic. Duncan, how about you? What's that game we cannot miss?
Thank you for Chase, the Man United supporter, passing me over there. yeah. Come on, you set me up there. Come on, it had to be done. Stacks and stacks and stacks.
You know, I like that game. Everybody gives it hell, but I did my first review for Stadia Source with Stacks on Stacks.
On Stacks.
No.
On
Stacks. No, it's not. It has an audience. No, my game, which I was actually completely surprised about this year, was Zombie Army 4, which went on Stadia Pro. I have stuck in an absolute mountain of hours into that. So, that has been my sleeper game of the year because I just was not expecting to actually spend so much time in that. I said I have to say, if you want to follow me at Wonder Escape and Cloudy with Games, and I'm just going to do one tiny plug. Watch Cloudy with Games on Monday because we have got something cooking for December, and we're going to announce it.
Ooh.
Rev, your sleeper hit, and where can people find you?
Okay. My sleeper hit is one of the same game from the same publisher as Zombie Army 4, and that's Sniper Elite 4. I've got lost in that game. That game is so much fun, especially when you get that perfect shot and it tracks the bullet into the different organs and whatnot and tells you what organ you hit. I mean, man, that game is so much fun. I recommend it to anybody that has not played it. Claim it on Pro right now and get that game and you'll get it. You'll understand once you play it. You'll understand. And,
the PvP is awesome as well in that game.
I haven't even played that yet. I'm still in the campaign.
Yeah, pretty good.
But because the campaign is just amazing. But you can find me on Twitter at sfounder2019 and on YouTube at the Stadia Revolution. I put up a couple of videos today, so go check them out.
Fantastic. Ejahmix.
My sleeper, I don't know if it's a sleeper, but the game that I played a lot this year was Guilt. I love Guilt. When I played it, I just love games that give me a rush, and Guilt just gives me a rush. It's an amazing game. Tequila Works, they did a great job on that game. But you can follow me on Twitter at King Ejahmix and on YouTube just Ejahmix on YouTube. And yeah.
Fantastic, Anthony. I know you didn't get to answer in the first round, so yeah, give us your sleeper hit and what was
guys,
your favorite thing in
listen.
the first round?
Sorry to say this, Dan, but I'm a fighting game guy, and my sleeper hit is Power Rangers Fight for the Grid. Guys, it feels like Marvel versus Capcom, Like is really pretty good. I'm gonna say this. I played for about an hour yesterday. Had people coming in the room. Nobody beat me yet. I'm just saying I keep challenging people, but that Power Rangers is pretty good.
One day. All right, Eddie, Chase, Duncan, Rev, Ejahmix. So thankful to have you all.
Yeah.
Have a good rest of your night.
All right. Yeah. Later.
Thanks.
All right, we. I don't want to do that to Val, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, we are heading into our next segment, but before we do that, I want to give you an opportunity to play a little Stadia Pro yourself. If you have been waiting on your opportunity to pick up a little bit of Stadia Pro games, there's a ton of them that you can claim right now, and you can do it for free if you enter in this code. Now, you're going to notice that on screen, there are a couple of characters missing from that code, and there is a hint for you at the very end of it. That little guy down there might live in a certain area of the United States where aliens happen to be known. So if you know the area that I'm talking about, you'll get the two numbers that you need to put in at the end of that code in order to claim your free Pro Pass. And if you did, tell us in the chat if you were the person who claimed it, so we can give you the shout out. Again, code is there on the bottom of the screen, and that little guy in the end is telling you the area you need to look at. I think everybody kind of figured out what I'm talking about at this point. If you didn't, it's too bad. Google it, area aliens. It'll make perfect sense. I'll leave that up for just a second as we welcome our next guests. We've got, from Speaking of Stadia, we got Aaron.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
We've got Ray the Gaming Cyborg.
Yo.
We've got Dr. Spaceman.
Hello.
We've got our very good friend, Perfect Legend.
Hey, everybody.
And joining us from the Stream Team Dream Team, it's Blue Bobs and Scarlet.
Hey, everyone. I'm going to jump out.
And we're saying goodbye to Dom. All right. So, folks, we are so excited to have you here. We're going to do something a little different, a little weird for this round of our game today. We are going to play the Family Feud. I know you're like, what is going on? What is happening right here? I'm going to hit share screen, and we're going to play ourselves some Family Feud. So, guys, this week I polled the world, asking them questions to answer about Stadia, and we are going to get ourselves a game on. So it's going to be, I'm going to rearrange some screens here, and it is going to be Stream Team Dream Team versus our guests versus our community streamers. Stream Team Dream Team versus the community streamers. So everybody above me, everybody below me. You know your teams. And big thank you again to Victor with the birthday cake and the hot dog super. I think he's just excited. He's hungry. Clearly, Victor, it is dinner time for you. So let's see if this works. Now, every time I share my screen, my audio goes weird. So I apologize if that happens. Now, let's see if we can hear this. All right, you guys ready? You excited? All right. We're going to play the feud. So I got to enter your team names in here. This is PowerPoint, you guys. Welcome to live podcast.
You really got this
video taping. I really do. I'm trying to go as professional as we can here. Community streamers. Okay, so it's Stream Team versus the community. Let's go. All right, we're gonna play the Family Feud. So how this is gonna work is Scarlet and Spaceman. You're gonna be the first up to answer to buzz in for this first question. And so after I read the question, you can say buzz to buzz in, and then we're going to play just like Family Feud, Family Fortunes does. We'll go up and down the rows as we go from there. So let's start round one. We polled a bunch of people. Top 8 answers are on the board, and the question is, of the first year's games on Stadia, which one has been your most favorite? Scarlet versus Spaceman. Buzz in for whoever wants to go first.
Buzz.
All right, Scarlet. Which one has been their most favorite?
Buzz.
Yeah, Scarlet.
AC Valhalla.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
AC
Let's see the
Valhalla.
board. That is number 5. Dr. Spaceman, if you can get 1 through 4, your team gets to play.
I'm gonna go with Destiny 2.
Destiny 2. Show me Destiny 2. That is number 2. Community streamers, are you going to pass or play?
Play.
Yeah, we're playing. We're players. We're playing.
All right, we're going to move on to Perfect Legend. Perfect Legend, we surveyed over 200 people of the first year's games on Stadia. Which one has been your most favorite?
Man, now since the update, Mortal Kombat Ultimate.
Mortal Kombat Ultimate. Show me Mortal Kombat.
Dang.
Sorry, no Mortal Kombat. That is one strike. We're moving on to Ray, the gaming cyborg. Ray, what has been your favorite? Or sorry, we asked the 200 some odd people. I just keep switching characters around, and it's moving me too. That's fine. Come on, StreamYard. Live shows, everybody. What has been your number one favorite?
Number one, Division 2. Tom Clancy, Division 2. Number one.
I think it's a good answer. Show me the Division 2.
Oh,
number 3 with 14 points. All right, number one answer still on the board. We're going to Aaron. Aaron, of the first games on Stadia, which has been your most favorite?
Avery, show me Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal. Show me Doom Eternal.
Oh.
Number 7, answer number 7 with 6% there. Doom Eternal. All right. 4 answers still left on the board. We're going to come back to Dr. Spaceman. Dr. Spaceman, of that first 100 games, what's been your favorite?
Avery, show me Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, come on.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games. That is a pretty good guess. Survey says... Number 4 answer. Number 1 is still on the board.
Wow.
And we're moving on to Perfect Legend. Perfect Legend, 3 answers still left on the board. Over 100 games in the first year of Stadia. What's your thought here?
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. That's a big favorite of Anthony up there on the Stream Team Dream Team, and not a favorite at all of Dan on the Stream Team Dream Team. Let's see. Survey says...
Dang.
I'm sorry, that is 2 strikes. Stream Team, you will have a chance to steal if they get 1 more strike. We're going on to Ray, the gaming cyborg. 3 answers still left on the board. We surveyed the Stadia community to find out what your number 1 game is from the first 100 games on Stadia. What's your thoughts?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Ooh. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, one of the launch titles, the title of Project Stream. If it's up there, you're still in the game. If it's not, we move over to the Stream Team. I happen to know because I'm looking at a spreadsheet, so I'm just drawing out the drama here. You guys want me to clip something? Make something happen? Show me Odyssey.
There he is.
Number 1 with a bullet. Assassin's Creed Odyssey had the most votes of anything in there. 2 answers left on the board, number 6 and number 8. We asked a whole bunch of people, Aaron, what their favorite game was from the first year of Stadia. What do you think they said? 2 answers left on the board.
It's been torturing me between 2 titles, but I got to go with that gut instinct. Let's go Hitman.
Hitman. Now, is that Hitman 1 or 2?
Give me that sequel. Hitman 2.
Hitman 2. Survey says it actually wasn't either one of them. So sorry. That's your 3rd X. All right. Stream Team, you've got a chance to steal. All you need to do is get the 6 or the 8. Talk amongst yourselves. What do you think that game could be?
Do you think Baldur's Gate?
I know what it is.
Ooh, BG3. That's a good one. I was thinking Guilt could be one, but I don't know.
Yep. Guilt.
It was the sleeper. But Baldur's Gate 3 would probably be a good one as well. Do we consider that as an early access game? Was that okay?
It's a game
I think Guilt's going to be on it because Guilt was like a Stadia only game at first, and everybody loved it.
All right. Scarlett, from the Stream Team Dream Team, we need an answer. What is your choice?
Immortals Phoenix Rising demo.
Immortals Phoenix Rising does not count.
Orcs Must Die 3.
All right. Well, I think Scarlett might be having some technical difficulties. We're going to say Dan from the Stream Team Dream Team. What is your answer?
Let's go out on a limb and say Guilt. Why not?
Guilt.
I disagree with all of them.
I'm gonna play Fiat. Scarlett, what were you gonna say?
I guess I'll go with what everybody's saying though. I think they're saying guilt. So.
Well,
all right. What were you gonna say? I'm curious to know.
Must be
Too late now. She's a little bit behind us. Okay.
Live,
So here we go. Guilt. Survey says.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh. Community Screamers get 87 points. We're playing first to 250. Anyone want to take any other guesses? You said one of them earlier. Number 6.
Oh, well done, Dan.
And
Well
I want
done,
to say
Dan.
maybe
Baldur's
Krita?
Gate.
Sorry
Number
about that,
8. Less.
Sekiro.
Shadows.
Wow.
Twice.
Okay.
All right. Good first round, everybody. We have, after the end of the first round, we've got Community Team with 87 points, Stream Team, Dream Team with 0 points, but there's still time to get left in the back in the game because we're going on to round 2, and the points are double. Top 6 answers on the board, and the points are double. The question is, other than Cyberpunk 2077, which game that has not been released on Stadia but has been announced are you most excited for? Perfect Legend and Blue Bobs. First to buzz in.
Oh man.
Whichever one of you buzz in first.
Okay, Buzz.
All right, Perfect Legend. Games that have not been released yet.
Okay.
Need an answer. 5 seconds.
Not released. Okay. Crowd play. That's a game.
I'm so sorry. Crowd play is not actually a game. It's just a feature. So Blue Bobs with a chance to steal. You just got to get something on the board.
Death Carnival?
Death Carnival. Should be Death Carnival.
Oh, bummer.
I'm sorry. We're going to Ray the Gaming Cyborg. You just got to get something on the screen.
Hit me with that Far Cry 6.
Far Cry 6.
Yup.
I am sorry. Not Far Cry 6. Dan, something on the board.
FIFA 21.
Show me FIFA 21. Number 2 answer.
The UK coming in clutch.
Stream Team, Dream Team. Do you want to play or pass?
I think we should pass.
Yeah, I think it should pass.
Oh, Stream Team, Dream Team is passing. All right. So we're going to Aaron, did I get Ray? No, yeah. Okay, Aaron, of the games that have not been released on Stadia, Cyberpunk 2077, by the way, got over 100 votes. So that just skewed all the numbers, and I had to take that out. Which game
I thought we
are you
were
most
switching the
excited
category.
about? It's the same category. It's the same. This is the new category. These are of the games that have not yet been released. Which one are you most excited about? All right.
Immortals, Phoenix Rising.
Immortals, Phoenix Rising. Show me Immortals. Number 3 answer, Immortals, Phoenix Rising. All right. Still on the board. Dr. Spaceman. 4 answers left to go of that next game's been released or announced. What are you most excited for?
I want to say Outcasters.
Outcasters, good choice. Stadia Games and Entertainment, right there with Splash Damage. Could it be on the board? Survey says number 1 answer.
Good work.
Outcasters. Good pull there. 3 answers left on the board. Perfect Legend. Which game that has not yet been released but has been announced are you most excited for?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Scott Pilgrim, interesting pull. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Survey says.
I'm really
Y'all can see where my mouse is going, so you kind of know what's happening here. Not on the board. 1 strike against you, but you still got some room to go here. Ray, the gaming cyborg, rocking that brand new chair, looking lovely. How's your booty doing? Feeling good?
My booty's doing great.
Feeling good? Good to hear it. 3 answers left on the board. We asked the Stadia community what game you were most excited about. 3 answers left on the board.
Hit me with that Madden football.
We've already got FIFA on the board. Do people also want some more EA action? Survey says.
Oh.
No. 2 strikes.
Dang.
Stream Team with the chance to steal. Coming up. Get your heads in the game. Aaron, speaking of Stadia, we got 3 answers we can speak of today. What is left on that board?
Well, I just want to remind everybody that I came on your show and predicted Cyberpunk was coming day and date, so you're welcome. So obviously I'll be right about Chorus.
Chorus, good shout there. A game that may or may not be running on Stadia Generation 2 Blade. But hey, you know what? Those folks might be coming on our podcast, so you stick around for that.
Depending who and when you ask.
Depending on who and when you ask, is Generation 2 a thing? But are we singing in the chorus? Survey says. Oh no! Sorry, I clicked the wrong one.
I'd like to make another guess.
Yes. Outriders.
I will also add
Okay,
Outriders.
we can remove the point. That was my next guess. But
Outriders and Chorus were tied, actually. So I thought I put Chorus in, but apparently I put Outriders in. That is completely my fault. All right, we're going to give that one to you. We're going to give that one to you. So sorry. But it's okay. There's only 2 answers left, and there's a lot of... See, look, we never practiced this before, you guys. This was going to happen. Something was going to happen. Like, can't say Chorus now. Chorus is out of the running. All right. We're back to Dr. Spaceman. 2 answers left on the board. A lot of points up for grabs, but only 1 strike left. Game that has not been released, but has been announced.
I want to say
Yes.
Jedi Fallen Order.
With the lightsaber saying Jedi Fallen Order. If it's on the board, you stay in the game. If not, Stream Team Dream Team has a chance to steal. Survey says. Number 4 answer, Jedi Fallen Order. All right, there's only 1 answer left on the board. 1 strike left to go. And it all comes down to your Evo World Champion, Perfect Legend. He is used to pulling it out of the clutch. He is used to this kind of competition. Have you ever been more stressed than you are right now, Legend? This is it, right? This is not even like the finals of Mortal Kombat, right? It's
right. What
on our podcast. Right?
Almost a guess.
One answer left on the board. No pressure. What's it gonna be?
We already said Hitman a while ago. We ain't saying that. Well, I'm gonna go with like Watch Dogs 2 or something.
Watch Dogs 2, interesting. Watch Dogs 2, catalog game from Ubisoft. If it's up there, you're taking home a lot of points. It might put you over for the win. If not, Stream Team Dream Team has a chance to steal. Show me Watch Dogs 2. Sorry, not on the board for you Family Fortune folks. All right, Stream Team Dream Team, you've got a chance to steal. 1 answer left on the board. Can you tell me what it is? Of the games that have not yet been released, what game are you most excited for? Announced but not released. Speak to each other here.
What about Destroy All Humans? Dirt 5?
Or what about Carly's game?
Immortals?
Yeah.
It's on there.
It's already on the board.
More
5 seconds. Blue Bobs, you're going to be the person to call it here.
Man, I have no idea. I might just go with what Dan said. That one's been in the works for a while, so possibly
5 seconds.
We'll go with Destroy All Humans. We'll go for
Destroy All Humans. If you're right, you take home double the points. This could be enough to put you over. If not, Stream Team goes down and the community team takes home these points. The suspense is killing us, isn't it?
Oh my God!
Show me. It doesn't matter. You were wrong. All right, sorry. That is not correct. No. Let's take a look at
Hitman 3.
The points.
Hitman 3.
Hitman 3. We'll still play, even though you hit 2 for 50. We'll still play the last round. Anybody else want to take a guess? I'm telling you, you're not going to get this. Destroy All Humans was actually Destroy All Humans was number 8.
Mafia
3.
Number 5.
Ark Survival. Never would have got there. You're right.
You forgot about Ark Survival Dre.
I didn't know we had Jedi Fallen Order though. I'm excited about that because my PC couldn't even run it.
There you go. It's exciting. All right, we have got a game. Technically, this last round could actually put anybody over the top, even though technically community team already won it with more than 250 points. We're going to round 3, and the point values have tripled.
Oh man,
this is for all the marbles. You need 258 points to win. That's what I'm going to say. We polled the Stadia community. Top 3 answers on the board. Dan and Ray will be buzzing in for this, and I recommend you let me ask the full question before you buzz in. Other than YouTube streaming, which Stadia feature or selling point, released or unreleased, are you most excited about?
Buzz.
I heard Dan.
Crowd play.
Crowd play. Show me crowd play. No, I'm so sorry. Ray with a chance to steal. Stadia feature or selling point.
Wow. I'll say messaging.
Messaging. Show me messaging. No, I'm so sorry. Anthony, and now your mama knows, other than YouTube streaming, which Stadia feature or selling point are you most excited about?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that.
5 seconds.
Stream Connect.
Show me Stream Connect. No, I'm so sorry. Aaron. The chance to bring it home. Other than YouTube streaming, what Stadia feature or selling point? I'm emphasizing words particularly.
Oh, got you.
Ability to play anywhere.
To play anywhere. Show me play anywhere. We're gonna take it. You can play on any device at anywhere. Now y'all know how this game is playing. All right, Aaron, you got a big decision: pass or play.
Oh, we're playing.
Play
it. Community is playing. We're going hard. 2 answers left on the board. Dr. Spaceman, which, other than YouTube streaming, which Stadia feature or selling point, released or unreleased, are you most excited about?
Upgradable hardware without any investment. Sorry about this.
Stadia just gets better, and you never have to pay. Show me. Stadia's better never pay. So sorry. No. You still got an opportunity. 2 answers still left on the board. Perfect Legend. What Stadia feature or selling point, released or unreleased, available or unavailable, are you most excited about? Perfect Legend.
See, this question is so tricky because he says the YouTube feature, so we can't say crowd choice or crowd play, so that rules it out.
I said other than YouTube streaming.
Right.
Other than YouTube streaming.
But you have to use YouTube to use those features.
Let me clarify. Other than direct streaming to YouTube.
Okay.
Clicking a button and it just goes.
All right. Okay. All right. Crowd choice.
Crowd choice. We know we're waiting for it. Crowd choice. Very popular choice on that answer. Was it correct? I'm sorry. Crowd choice not on the board. All right, Ray. It is down to you. Stadia feature or selling point, released or unreleased, are you most excited about? Stream Team, Dream Team, you could have a chance to steal.
Just pass, Ray.
No downloads. No downloads.
No downloads.
Love that choice.
No downloads, no patches. His team agrees. Could he be right? Survey says number 1 answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Downloads, no patches. All right, we've only got
champ,
one.
Sorry, man.
Got one answer left, and it all comes down to Aaron, the prognosticator of Cyberpunk. Can he pull it home for the community team? 1 answer remaining of the Stadia features other than YouTube streaming, which we're excited about. 1 answer left on the board.
Give me 4K streaming.
4K streaming straight to your home. If it's on the board, you ran away with this game.
Huge.
If it's not on the board, Stream Team Dream Team has a chance to steal. Show me 4K streaming. I'm sorry. Not on the board.
All right.
Stream Team Dream Team. You have a chance to steal. 1 answer left on the board. You can take home all the marbles right here.
Yeah, guys, I think it's no storage, no hard drive needed.
It's either that.
We've already got no.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
What
That's
about
it.
what about Ubisoft
That's
Plus?
good answer.
Well, there's a difference between no downloads needed compared to I don't know. I get
10 seconds.
What about Ubisoft
The
Plus?
pro games. The pro games.
Wait, who was it on?
Xbox also has pro games. I don't know. That's tough.
Andrew, it's down to you. I need an answer.
Oh, I think it's up to Dan this time, or Anthony.
Dan, it's down to you.
Pro
No,
games.
it's okay.
Ubisoft
games. Show me pro games. No, I'm sorry. The points go to the community streamers who walked away with this game today. Anybody else want to take a guess at number 3?
Yeah, is this something to do with family?
Ubisoft Plus.
You have got it on the nose. Family sharing.
It's so obvious now.
Number
I was like, something to
3.
do with family.
Now you know why I specifically said or selling point. Community.
And we're Family Feud.
Away with
It
it.
should have been a dead giveaway, right? Family Feud, family sharing.
Nah.
Very good.
Well done, guys.
Community team
Very
dab,
good.
ready?
Came in the
Community
clutch
team dab
with the
on
last
3.
one.
1, 2, 3.
Listen, a cowboy is better than a cyborg anyway.
It's getting rough in here.
Not on Family Feud.
It's okay. We don't have time for fast money, so we're instead going to let Legend, Spaceman, Aaron, and Ray give us very, very, very quickly, tell us your unexpectedly hidden gem of the first year of Stadia. We've been asking everybody this, and then drop your handle in the chat so people can follow you. Super, super quick, Legend.
Okay, very quickly, I saw the upgrade from Mortal Kombat like 11 or Aftermath to MK Ultimate, and then the input latency basically improved overnight. So just something like that shows just the potential for the technology for the future in different games. I mean, I have no idea how much more is going to keep updating, probably forever, but everything else already dropped, so Stadia will keep being the great.
Fantastic. And drop your handle. How can people find you online?
Perfect Legend on everything, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. So just follow me.
Fantastic. Dr. Spaceman, super quick.
The SteamWorld Quest, the SteamWorld series as a whole really impressed me. Like, that came out and just amazing. And you can find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dr. Spaceman. And I'm also on Twitter, Dr. Spaceman Gaming. So, yeah, that was quick.
Fantastic. Ray the Gaming Cyborg.
Attack on Titans 2. I love it. Hack and slash. And then Ray3473 just on Twitter. I just hit 600 followers today. Follow me. Thank you. I always update where I'm going to be at on my Twitter page. Thank you.
Fantastic. And Aaron.
Baldur's Gate 3. I absolutely fell in love with it. I think it's great, even in early access. I can't wait to see where that game goes. And you can find me on Twitter and all the other things at Aaron Seaney, Seaney, and hit up our podcast, Speak of Stadia, on Twitter as well.
Fantastic. So good to have all of you joining us tonight for Stadia Family Feud. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Stay tuned, everybody else, because we have got one more segment left to go. And we'll say goodnight to all you wonderful guests as we unceremoniously boot you from our studio, despite the fact that we love you. We got to do it because we got other people that want to hop in here. All right, fantastic. And Blue Bobs, you were not around for that earlier segment. So tell us your sleeper hit of the year.
For me, it was Strange Brigade. I know a couple people mentioned the Zombie Army 4 game and Sniper Elite 4 by Rebellion. I had seen Strange Brigade on Steam. It popped up as one of my items that for explored, and I saw it and I was like, well, this might be interesting. But as soon as it dropped on Stadia and I tried it out right after playing the Zombie Army 4, it was such a fun game, and I played it. I hopped in and played with a couple guys that were streaming to Facebook in the Pro Stadia group at one point. It's a lot of fun because it's not only a shooter, but you get to set up traps and try to outsmart the zombies. It reminds me a little bit of like zombies in Call of Duty as far as running around and doing little circles and then setting traps and blowing them up. So that was kind of my sleeper game. And I'm at Blue Bobs, Twitter, Instagram, everything basically.
All that good stuff. If you in the chat were the one that got our earlier Stadia Pro Pass, please let us know because I want to say hi to you. I'm sure you did. It's somewhere up in the stream, and there's too many people, and I was doing a Family Feud. It's fine. But say hi again, and I'll say hi to you again if you say it. Like, make it all caps or something. I'll find it. And big thank you to everybody that's been tuning in so far. We got one more segment left to go with some of your favorite content creators where we're going to chat the next year of Stadia. But before we get into that, I'm going to do all the stuff that I normally do at the end of a normal podcast in the beginning just now so we can get all that away because it's going to be super late for some of our folks when we get out of here. While you're watching us, I know you're watching us on YouTube right now, but we are also a podcast. So head over to Spotify, Pocket Casts, wherever you get your podcasts. Search for I'm going to say search for Speaking of Stadia. Search for Speaking of Stadia. They're a great podcast. We really love them. We were so glad that they were able to come and be a part of the show right now. I'm also going to drop F-Tendo in the chat from our Stream Team Dream Team saying hi. And make sure you do that. And follow us on Twitter, Discord, all those wonderful things. I'll say that last little bit at the end of the show. And one other big shout out to Rokk, rokk.co.uk. That gentleman you saw earlier today also does some cool techie stuff, and he provides the hosting for our site. So it's really, really fun. Felix, while you're taking a drink, I'll ask you a question because that's good timing, right? What's your sleeper hit of the first 100 games of Stadia that people really should try out?
Easy answer. It's Gunsport. Gunsport was a really good game. I'm super disappointed that it did come out at the same time as Super Bomberman because the community just wasn't there to support the online presence. But kids, sorry. But I really, really enjoyed Gunsport, definitely.
Fantastic. And if nobody claimed that code from earlier, you can give it another shot. It's down at the bottom. There are 2 digits missing, and those numbers happen to be an area in Nevada, I think it is, where you might find some aliens. So enter those in. I'll leave that up for just a sec as I go ahead and enter or add some folks into the chat. So here in this last segment, we have reached the end of our first year of Stadia, but that means we've got year 2 to talk about, and we can't do that without being joined by more of your favorite Stadia and other fun stuff. Anthony, are you heading out?
Oh yeah, I'm not on the segment, so I just want to say
you're welcome to you stick around. We love you. If you're available, you hang on out. We love you. All right.
We're the cowboy.
Hang out with the cowboy. We're gonna say hello to MM2K.
Hello.
Chibueze. Our good friend Lloyd.
Hello, hello.
And our good friend Bill.
How's it going, everybody?
Good to have y'all with us tonight to talk the end or the beginning of year 2 of Stadia. And I got one more Pro Pass to give away, you guys. So if you were not the one that caught that first one and you still want to have your opportunity, I got one more Pro Pass to give away. Get you those 3 free months today. So we want to chat the next year of Stadia. Obviously, big news today. iOS coming, the big, huge Cyberpunk announcements, all that stuff, setting us up for a great year 2 on Stadia. And as you just saw through Family Feud, a lot of games out there that people are really, really excited about coming to the platform. So, Chibueze, I'm going to start out with you. Of the survey says, of the games that have been announced but not yet released for Stadia, looking at the calendar, we got a lot of games coming up on the calendar, some really big hitters. Let's just put Cyberpunk out of the equation. We all know. But of those games, what's on the horizon for the platform that's really got you excited?
Let's see. One that's really got me excited that's coming in the next week is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I bought that game for Xbox last year, but thanks to Game Pass, all the storage is out. So I'm out of storage on that. So I can't wait to pick that up on Stadia. Also, a game that I think that my girlfriend and I are really going to enjoy, Fogs, which is coming out on December 3rd.
The cat dog, but it's 2 dogs.
Exactly. So yeah, I think my girlfriend and I are going to have fun with that. Scott Pilgrim, of course, that's a big one. And then let's see. Wow, there are a lot of games. Immortals: Phoenix Rising, of course.
A lot of fantastic
Outcasters, whenever that comes out.
Eventually, it just got rated today. We didn't in the news roundup. We didn't even have time to talk about the fact that a bunch of games got rated, including Outcasters today. And usually, USK is about a month behind reality there. So, Bill, in the first year, we're looking forward. We're not looking back anymore. We're looking forward. What are you looking forward to in year 2 of Stadia in terms of games on the horizon?
So I just want to make sure, does it have to be a game that we know about?
No, if you want to prognosticate here, you know what? Actually, no. I'm gonna take that back. Yes, and then we'll do some prognostication in the second half of this segment.
Okay, so if we're talking about games that we know about, I have put a stupid amount of time into Baldur's Gate 3, and that's just like in beta right now. So I can't wait for like the full game to get released because it is so addictive. And it is really amazing to be able to play that on whatever device that you have. And we talked about, or you guys were talking earlier about iOS. I have not used this on Android. Can you use like touchscreen controls for Baldur's Gate 3 on Android? Any Android people know?
I would assume. I think it's universal.
Yeah,
but not like emulating a controller. I mean, like I want to touch a spot and have my character walk over there.
Oh, that. Oh no,
I don't think they've released that just
well,
yet.
that's terrible.
They've talked about it, but they haven't. Bill's like, no, not interested in that. Lloyd, what about you? What's on the announced list that is exciting for you?
I guess the game that I'm most looking forward to this year would be Cyberpunk, and next year is going to be the new Far Cry coming out. Both big, large open world games that I want to sink my teeth into. I've been loving all the games that have been coming out recently, like Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion. So just having more huge open world games that you can pop into in 30 seconds on your phone when you're on break at work or you're on a bus. Probably not these days with COVID, but in the future when you're on the bus, just be able to pop in, play 15 minutes and bounce out on these huge like 100-hour games. If you start chopping it into half-hour chunks, all of a sudden it doesn't seem like it's that long of a game to get through. So looking forward to those ones the most.
Until you're in the middle of a quest and you miss your stop and then you have to get out and come back. And
right.
I've done that on more than a handful of games. MM2K, how about you?
Well, I'm going to steal a little bit of Lloyd's mojo, and I'm going to go with this year. I'm going to say the horribly named Immortals Phoenix Rising, a.k.a. Gods
Are you a Gods and
Monsters
Monsters stan?
Yeah, I call it Phoenix Immortal Upside Down, everything. Horrible name. For next year, I'm gonna put a shocker out there. Not Outcasters, but Outriders. I just got a feeling that's going to be the Anthem without the flying, but the complete version of Anthem that we've always wanted. It's giving me those vibes. So,
yeah. Anthony, I know you're a big Anthem fan. Is Outriders on your radar?
It does look pretty good, actually, and he's right. It does kind of give you that vibe, like that. The world, it looks kind of like a little violent, little gritty. But that wasn't on my list. But definitely, I'm interested in that game. I'm a huge beat 'em up guy. And Scott Pilgrim versus the World was probably one of my favorite beat 'em ups. Every time you play a different beat 'em up, like when they brought back Streets of Rage, you always felt like something was missing, like falling on the ground and beating people up on the ground. You could do all that in Scott Pilgrim. And then also, to Lloyd's point, he mentioned DLC, and I didn't think of that, but now we got the announcement, courtesy of Stadia source, because I seen it on there today. But the Avengers, Kate Bishop's is coming out on December 8th. So I'm happy about that. So I'm really looking forward to getting some more Avengers DLC.
Yeah, we get a lot of Avengers that have not yet been released that are on the plan. I know they moved Black Panther up, so that'll probably be coming in the next little bit. Felix, how about you? What are you looking forward to in the near or even far term, if we think something might be coming out later in the year?
As far as games that we know that are coming out, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to Madden. I'm looking forward to FIFA 21. These are games that are needed on the platform. It's a shame that they don't have crossplay, but I'm definitely still looking forward to them because it's going to bring a little bit more recognition and solidify that fan of those types of games more to the console or to the platform. And I'm also looking for it has to happen, right? We're going to get Apex Legends eventually, right? Like, that's a game that is needed. That game, Rogue Company, just a lot of these games.
We'll talk about the maybes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the maybes.
I'll stop at the sports game for now. Oh, you know what? And one more game I'm actually looking forward to as well. It's a boring game, but it's fun. Watch Dogs, the original Watch Dogs.
No.
The original Watch Dogs. It's a boring game, but it's actually still pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that game.
Felix is our resident sports streamer. Like, I don't think anybody else even tries to stream any sports games on the channel. So when they're like, "Hey, we just got a code for Whatever. Like, no, just give it to Felix. Nobody wants it. Just give it to Felix. Blue Bombs, anything on your anything you're accounting on coming out in the near term?
Yes.
Guys, it's terrible. It's a long stream.
It's been a long one. It's actually going to probably surprise a lot of people because normally I stream Series Sam 4 Marathon. I normally do a lot of shooting games, but I actually enjoy like little hidden object games, and Darkside Detective 2 from the Stadia Makers program. I played the first one, and I swear I played it on like congregate.com, or it was like a Flash game. It's not very graphically intense, but it's just got that comedicness to it, and it's just a fun game to play through. It's only going to probably take a handful of hours, but it's very funny. It's got the humor aspect in it that I really enjoy, and so it's nice to take a break from all the shooting games every now and again, and just like go from killing all these things to just enjoying life a little bit and enjoying the happier side. So, although it's technically about murder in the game as well, so maybe not, but baby steps.
Happier side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, Dan, I'll let you wrap the segment. I think for me, after last Thursday's pod, when we had on Herbert from Furion, not Fury Ion. What did I say? What did I do?
Stealing my answer.
Oh yes. That's why I went first. I didn't know this was one that you're gonna pick. With Furion games, Herbert got a lot of us real pumped for Death Carnival.
Yeah.
I was already kind of looking forward to that because I'm a big, like I said it then, Smash TV, on the NES and stuff. I loved those games, and Death Carnival just speaks to me. And I like the Hunger Games, and I like those kind of Maze Runner and stuff. So to see this in a video game format, and then he was just like his glee for that game and how excited he is for his own game, which of course you don't want a developer coming on going, it's gonna be fine. You don't really want that, but I was thrilled. So Death Carnival is definitely on my list. Dan, what games are you looking forward to in the next that have been announced?
Death Carnival. No, I've got to match what you said. Just like he's so interested to talk to the Stadia community and find out what makes us tick and how he could obviously improve the game for Stadia as well as just gaming in general on all platforms. So that I think that's going to surprise a lot of people. That game. So it's probably one of my top games. Again, Cyberpunk. I pre-ordered it today because you get a free Stadia Premier Edition, but the more I see of it, the more I'm kind of coming around to it. I wasn't too fussed in the beginning, but yeah, those are my two picks.
Yeah. Bill, did you have another one?
I did, because I can't believe I didn't think of this. Riders Republic. It looks so crazy, and I completely have forgotten about that game until just now. That game looks so awesome, and I'm not even a sports game guy. Sorry, Felix.
I got big. I got big into the Crew for a little while, and I kind of got a little bit of the Crew vibes, but also like it's like 6 or 7 games kind of merged into one. I know we're at the cusp of something with Stadia. I think we've all kind of felt it for the past couple of months, that with the change in tone of the marketing and the ramp up of features, the ramp up of volumes has really positioned Stadia. I don't know how much of it was a response to the fact that, hey, PS5, Xbox X, you gotta do something or you're gonna get drowned out. But it seems like they're trying to meet the moment. And I think one of the things that's going to make a big difference there is broadening the access to the platform. We heard, with the Premier Edition launch deal with YouTube, suddenly the Stadia subreddit grew by hundreds of people who were like, yeah, I got it. If you search on Twitter, if you search Stadia, there's a lot less of the, is Stadia still alive? And a lot more of the, I had YouTube and I just got Stadia and stuff. And so widening the platform and growing the player base is obviously a big priority for them. Bill, I'll start with you on this one. As you're looking toward the next year of Stadia, where do you think Stadia goes from here in terms of growing the platform? What are the ingredients in that recipe that gets the momentum to continue?
What do I think is going to happen, or what would I do?
Well, both. What do you think they're going to do, and then what would you do if you were sitting across from superhero John Justice and he said, "Give me a list"? which he already did once, but you know.
I think that they're going to take the very conservative and slow and steady approach, which is not necessarily the wrong approach. But I think they're going to continue to do things kind of the way that they've been doing them recently, which compared to what they were doing before is like lightning speed. But I still think that if you look at it, it's pretty laid back. Like you don't have like a mouthpiece for Stadia out there in front of everybody, like Major Nelson or whatever, constantly tweeting crazy, like a bunch of stuff out. You don't have them on with you don't have like John Justice on with Greg what the hell's his name? Game Awards guy.
Oh, Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley. Why was I was thinking Greg Kinnear for some reason.
Greg Kinnear.
You don't have
famous
him
for
on with Jeff
Potato
Keighley.
Potato.
Right, you don't have him on with Jeff Keighley. I think that that's the kind of stuff that they ought to do, but I don't think that they're going to do. I also think that they like the stuff that they have been doing, which is great, is those giveaway codes. Like they've been doing, like tweeting out, hey, retweet this and get a free copy of these 2 games. I think that's awesome. That kind of stuff is great. They need to have demos every single week. The demo for this week is this game. That would really grow the platform a lot. And these giveaways that they've been doing have been, giving away premiere editions and stuff like that. That's just bananas that they've been doing that. It's a really good move.
It's just keeping them in the conversation. Absolutely at this moment. MM2K, I've watched several of your streams where you were just like, this is it. Stay in the conversation, Stadia. Stay in the conversation.
Well, I want to bless you for withstanding all the yelling and screaming for first and foremost.
I'm gonna tell you. No, I'm not gonna do my. I don't have one.
I've been jumping in his stream calling him pastor. So
preach it, MM2K, preach it.
Oh man, someone's got to like me because my wife doesn't. She loves Bill though. She loves Bill's podcast though. We were talking about that. She says you need to join those guys, learn how to do this better. I said, okay, honey. So I think this year, more or less, from what I've observed, was them playing around with their messaging. You saw where they started at, and you saw where they kind of landed at today. Starting from Connecticut Place to Boardwalk today, right? We've been yelling and screaming from the rooftops, stealth drop more stuff, be a little bit transparent with this and that. And it seems like that they're fine tuning it, and it's gotten a lot better. I think even just a couple of months ago, instead of seeing what we saw today, you would have seen them try to lump everything together in some type of video format. It probably wouldn't have landed as well as what they did today. They got media coverage. They got a lot of media coverage. I mean, they're tracking good in the media. They got the grassroots marketing with people just showing their premiums that they got from YouTube, like Bill just did. So you got a lot of positive stuff going on. I think what we're going to start seeing next year, though, is I think now they're probably fine tuning their message. They're going to get better at the messaging, and they probably have a better idea of what they want to do as far as communication is concerned. So you might see more transparency, more of a roadmap. I mean, when they did those modules the other day on YouTube Canada, it was well received. They like to stick to things that are well received. And then you also saw Jack Buser come out today for mobilesyrup.com, and he's done that interview that's getting rave reviews. Now, he said a lot of this stuff in March of last year, but people missed it and they never recapped on it. And he came back out and he said it some more and he embellished a lot more. So you're starting to see them like kind of blossom out of the cocoon a little bit. So I think I agree with Bill. Things are going to come at a slower pace as far as what they're going to reveal. But I think you're going to see a lot more transparency and a lot more community facing stuff from like what we saw from Jack Buser today.
Yep. And I missed I missed a super sticker earlier from April, one of our favorite folks. She's always in the chat, and I think it was a smiley face. StreamYard, come on, get on that. Show us what the actual sticker was. It's probably copywritten or something. Who knows? Lloyd, I know that actually, speaking of that Jack Buser article today, the article came out and he said that they are currently tracking over 400 games from over 200 developers. And they're done with 2021. They said that on the roadmap, 2021's covered. They're looking at 22 right now, and they really want to get to 23 and start dealing with that. So, clearly, there's a runway, and they're heading down it.
Yeah, totally. A lot of people are pointing out a lot of other quotes from that really great interview on Mobile Syrup, but I think that quote specifically excites me the most because they have their roadmap for 2021 already. They're like, okay, 2021 solved. We got to do 2022. We got to see where we're going to be. And I think the biggest thing that Stadia can do is drop Gen 2, Gen 4, whatever it is now, because we know there's been incremental upgrades to the blades. So they can come right out and say, hey, this is Cyberpunk 2077 running on Xbox Series X. This is Cyberpunk 2077 running on Stadia. Can you tell the difference? No, but we saved you 2 hours in download times. Buy it on Stadia, play instantly, and they can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they can just drop the mic and say, yeah, we have that too. It's all of a sudden horsepower doesn't matter. We had someone drop in on one of our streams and they're like, oh, are you running 4K? Yep. Well, it's only 1080p. Yep, I'm only streaming 1080p. Oh, well, it doesn't look as good as some other streams. Okay, but it's a 4K game being compressed down and sent to you. Okay, sure, that's fine. There's people out there that just care about the pixel counts and the bandwidth. There was an article today that I read, I think on Verge, saying the 4K on Stadia doesn't look as good as 4K on Xbox. And it's like, okay, but sure, it's compressed, there's lossy compression, but can you really tell in real motion that it looks worse? I don't think so. You can take a screenshot and do bring it up in Photoshop. So I think just dropping the mic saying ray tracing, this many pixels, it's out now, you can get it, and then they don't have to talk about that anymore, and there won't be that huge focus on is there another gen coming, is there this, is there that. It just shows that they're up there to the current generation stuff. It'll be good for their business, and it'll also be good for all of us content creators to not have to answer the same questions every single time that we do a stream.
Just play the game. That's what I've always said. Play the game.
Exactly.
Chibueze, we're as we start to talk about other things that Stadia is doing to grow. Destiny 2 going free to play was big today. It literally all you got to do is sign up for your Stadia username. And now you can play Destiny 2, which is a massive MMO, for absolute free from your crappy Chromebook tablet that you got 2 years ago from your grandmother. It's anything, anywhere. Free to play is obviously a big test for cloud streaming because people have to believe that it works, and the easiest way to get them to believe it is to give it to them for free to try. You've talked about this on Cells and Circuits, the need for cloud gaming to grow in ways that people can test it. What are you thinking? I'll circle back to Felix because I know you wanted to talk about free to play games. What else? What other? If you were going to pick the next free to play game, the next 2 or 3 for this series system, what do you think would help grow that base again? What are you looking forward to, hoping comes in 21?
Of course. As F. Tendo said earlier, Apex Legends, that has to be one of them. I would also say Fortnite, because Tim Sweeney didn't say that he was opposed to the idea of porting over Fortnite to Stadia. He just said that, there's not a huge market for it on Stadia right now. But, with everything that they've been doing, that's going to change.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then third, I would say Rocket League for the same reasons, because Epic Games. Because all 3 of those games, a lot of people play. But I don't know if they're going to be the next 3 games or if they're just going to be 3 games that release, at different points within 2021 or 2022 or something like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask the rest of the panel as we're nearing the end here to tell us the game that you want, not announced, not released, but give us one or two games that like come on Stadia. Just get them on the platform that are coming down, and we'll go around the table. And folks in the chat, I want to pull you guys into this as well. Tell us in the chat the game that is not on Stadia, not even confirmed, that you want. Give us that wish list, and who knows, maybe Jack is watching, and maybe he'll actually maybe he'll take those to heart as he's going. So tell us in the chat the game you're looking for. Dan, what is on your for me it's Sonic Mania, but Dan, what is on your wish? Sorry, Dan, what is on your wish list for? I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Personally, Sonic Mania or Sonic Mania 2 if it's in the works. But there you go, got you. But excuse me, I can see the value in games such as like Fortnite, like you said. And also Call of Duty. I can't remember what it's called now. It's just
Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone.
Zombies.
Yeah, just games like that. And I mean, one of the main complaints I have from people that I've managed to kind of get to convert to Stadia, but then have kind of dwindled away because there's certain games that they like aren't on Stadia, and it's the Fortnite, it's the Call of Duty, it's the Rocket League. It's just those games that everybody's already mentioned here, so I don't think I could top those lists. But I just want to see them actively, and maybe something like Minecraft, but with mod support if we can have it.
Yeah, you got a second in Rocket League here from Colin. Blue Bobs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what is holding Stadia back from really just exploding is a game like Warzone and a game like Apex. Personally, I think that right now they're going to do a word of mouth marketing pattern. I mean, yes, they're doing little news articles, but they're not like grabbing a huge streamer and saying play a game, because they don't have a streamer kind of a game that would really grasp the audience. But if they did port over a Warzone and they pulled in someone who loves to stream that and they just streamed it and they were like, oh, and at the end they're like, yeah, I just played this whole thing on Stadia, by the way, and just kind of blew people's minds, I think that would be huge. And obviously the download time, it took me like 13 hours to download Black Ops Cold War. Which
that's because you're on 2 megabyte internet.
I know, but still, okay, still. It's nice
every time Bill talks about his dad that lives 5 miles away from him and has no internet, I'm like, he lives next to Blue Ball. Blue Balls also has no internet. You definitely got Yakov there with the agreement on Warzone and Apex in there. Felix.
I think Stadia absolutely needs Crash Bandicoot 4. No, that's for Jem. I love you, Jem.
That's a Jem Stadia, yeah.
No, I think it's already been said. I'm not a fan of it, but Fortnite needs to be on the platform. Warzone needs to be on the platform. Apex, the car one, Rocket League, excuse me. And then again, these are games that are not for me, but I think needing MOBAs, League of Legends, Arena of Valor, things like that. I mean, I'm not smart enough to play with a mouse and keyboard, but there is a huge community that does use mouse and keyboard, and they need more games to bring those folks in.
Yep. Agreed. Zajic in the chat I'll certainly second this one. Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
I so want that on the platform so bad. MM2K, briefly, what's your prediction for a game that you say bring it on Stadia?
Well, we can't call it a big ticket platform unless we got the little bratty runts on the platform. So we got to have Call of Duty. No, I shouldn't say that. That's not right.
Little indie game,
including my little bratty runts. I will say Call of Duty. I don't know about Fortnite. There's a little politics going on there with Tim Sweeney. I've been following him for years, so it might be a little bit of time. But I think that the platform can make big strides with like a Call of Duty, Apex, or what's the other game? Oh man, I can't think of it. But games of those battle royale, those free to play type games that are that just surround the top 20. They pretty much just run the top 20 everywhere. But if I had my own little guilty pleasures, there's a small developer. Set of developers called Gunfire Games and Try On Worlds. They collaborate together on little games called Defiance 2050 and Remnant from the Ashes. I would love to have those games on there, and I think they would be perfect for Stadia, because that Stadia has putting games on Stadia like oh gosh, the names lose me, but putting certain games like Risk of Rain 2 on Stadia, they tend to get a lot more attention than they would on the bigger platforms. So I think games like Remnant and Defiance 2050 would do very well on there, because I think our community appreciates those games a lot more than the bigger platforms do.
And you've got a friend in X Shadow X who definitely says Remnant is on their list.
Yeah.
And Fur 65432 plays. Oh, come on, where's the one? Come on, it's okay. Anthony, briefly, what's your bring it to Stadia title?
Real briefly, I just want to add one point from before is one thing I think Stadia needs to really do, and they're on the way, is open up more markets, because as long as they're in more homes, then companies like Activision will say, hey, we'll put something like a Call of Duty, because could see that we're going to make so much money. But Call of Duty, that's the only thing. A yearly Call of Duty day and date on Stadia will prove so much. I have so many people that I know that dabbled in Stadia and loved it, said, but if you had Call of Duty, I'll give up my Xbox, I'll be on Stadia. So gotta be Call of Duty, man.
Call of Duty, there we go. Bill, what's your gimme game?
World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, Diablo 4, Overwatch 2. All of those games would be absolutely huge for the platform. And they're all games that are very online focused, where you always want to be connected anyway. So they would be perfect for this particular platform. And Lloyd, nobody cares. You just play all the games. All right? Just play.
That's just for you watching the YouTube right now. We won't even say what that was that got a giggle there. Chibueze, briefly.
All right. My gimme game, as an Adult Swim fan, as a Cartoon Network fan, as a Toonami fan, Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. Adult Swim games, please. I would love for that game to be on the platform, because that's just one of my favorite games. I have it on Xbox. But I would double dip if it was on Stadia.
Very fun. Captain D Supreme says Street Fighter. Need to get Street Fighter on there. Dr. Spaceman wants that Hyperscape in there as well. And Sednar also with the Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, you're right. We need it. Rouster with Diablo 3. Hey, I'll take Diablo 3. I enjoyed that quite a bit as well. Lloyd, take us home. What's your gimme game that we got to have?
The two that I'd really love to have, just to expand the market, bring more younger kids excited about the platform, would be Minecraft and Minecraft Dungeons. Minecraft Dungeons just dropped with crossplay, so you can play with everybody, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Switch, all together. Add Stadia into the mix, and I think that would be huge for Stadia. If you could buy the game and play it in 30 seconds. You're going to get a lot of people playing on the platform, and it's already online already. You don't have to worry about crazy server issues because you're connected directly to the servers right at the blade level. So I think that would be a fantastic get for Stadia with those two titles.
Fantastic. All right. Before we let y'all go, so you can get an opportunity to get those follows up, because guys, you got to follow these folks. They're amazing. I asked a question to everybody so far, so I'll ask it to you because we're running out of time. Give us the one game that's already on the platform that people should not sleep on, and tell us where people can find you online. Super fast, F-Tendo.
Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle. And you can get me at F-Tendo on Twitter.
Fantastic. MM2K.
Risk of Rain 2, and you can catch me Stadia Dosage News and Stadia Dosage Streams on YouTube.
Fantastic. Anthony, I got you earlier. Bill.
No, I was still looking. Go get me.
Chibueze.
Gunsport, and you can find me at Chibueze Anakor on Twitter, or you can also find my podcast, Cells and Circuits, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Fantastic. And Lloyd, and we'll come back to Bill.
Oh, I'm not ready. No, just kidding. Darksiders Genesis would be a fantastic game for people to check out. It's different than all the other Darksiders, and it was a hell of a lot of fun to play through that one. And you can follow me on Twitter at DazMe and youtube.com/StadiaCast.
And now, Bill.
I'm not ready. No, I'm just kidding. Doom Eternal is an amazing first-person shooter. I absolutely adore that game. If you haven't played it, you need to play it. It's awesome. It is like parkour with chainsaws and guns. And you can find me on Twitter at Run Jump Stomp.
3 things that you can do when you follow Bill on Twitter. Bill, Chibueze, MM2K, and Lloyd, thank you so much for joining us here for the 1-year creator celebration. To those of you who are in the chat hanging out with us, we really appreciate each and every one of you, and we are so thankful that you spent your time with us. Round table, I'm going to say a quick good night to y'all.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
If you're listening to the podcast, you can join us live most Thursday evenings right here on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can download our podcast on Spotify, Pocket Casts, everywhere you get podcasts. You can follow Twitter at Stadiasaurus. You can like us on Facebook. You can say it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. And join our Discord at Stadiasaurus.com/Discord. You can even wear Stadiasaurus when you're out and about by going to Stadiasaurus.com/merch. The music at the top of the show was Bad Snacks, somewhere in the neighborhood. Check her music at badsnacks.bandcamp.com. Hosting for Stadiasaurus generally provided by Rokk. You can find out more about the technical expertise provided by Rokk at rokk.co.uk. If you haven't already, right below this episode is a thumbs up that lets us know you like the show, and right next to it is a subscribe button to let you know the next time we post a new video. You can also become a member of the Stadiasaurus channel by hitting the join button down below with great perks at every level of your budget. Thank you for joining us for the 1-year anniversary creator celebration. Thank you to MM2K. Thank you to Bill, Lloyd, Chibueze, Perfect Legend, 64, Ray 3473, Aaron, Dr. Spaceman, Eddie Player One, King Ejahmix, Duncan, Chase, Rev, Jem, Tommy, who couldn't be here but totally wanted to, Rokk, and Clive. For Stadiasaurus, my name is Avery. Have a good year too.